delivered because this should have been, I think, like 2 gallons. But I have water that I have a 7 gallon water container. So you guys know we don't waste water here at all. We do not waste water here. That's why I tell people, if you're gonna donate water, please do it by the jug because I don't have the space to put it, and it's also a lot of waste. It's a lot of waste, you guys. It's a lot of plastic. It's not good for the environment at all. So I appreciate it though. Whoever did it, thank you. I think I got 2 cases here. No water is better than, I mean, some water is better than no water, I guess. Thank you so much, you guys, for this. Appreciate you. Thank you, Sub, for the likes. Thank you, thank you. We are putting purified water in our container right now. Thank you for whoever. I think this is somebody I know. We have 2 cases of filtered water we're going to be going through to fill our bucket. Now you guys know why I'm suing the city of Springfield, because this is unlawful. I shouldn't have to do this. I should have water at my property, and I don't. I don't have water at my property. I have to order it. So this is what I have to do to get water here. Drinkable water. But we're going to make this into running filtered drinkable water. I'm going to show you guys how to do that today. I have all the parts I need, hopefully, to get this done. And we're going to test it out before we connect everything. And we're going to go from there. So this should last us about a whole week, if not 2 weeks worth of water. All right, we got 1 container down. Go on to the next, guys. Thank you for the likes, guys. Appreciate it. I just want to see how heavy this is real quick. That's decent. That's a lot of water in there, guys. This thing's almost full. That's all purified water right there. Got it. Okay, so it looks like it's about 3 cases of the water, you guys. This is from Pure Life. So thank you for donating this. Whoever donated the water, appreciate you guys. It is very hot out here. Uh, doesn't take very long. All right, last container. There we go. Well, the good news about doing it this way is that if I ever go anywhere, I can bring the whole container with me. And I also have portable water options for guests. We're pretty much reaching 7 gallons here, guys. And we've just reached 7 gallons. All right. So we've just reached 7 gallons with 3 containers. So now I know that 3 containers is more than enough. We're going to cover this. This is a 7 gallon container. I don't want it on the ground for right now, so we're going to keep it above the ground. We're going to dump this out. I'm going to go ahead and lock my bike up because this is going to take a while. Totally forgot. Well, we had the dishes. It's gone. So now we have clean dishes. It is very nice. Guys. Oh, yes. That's awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so I'm going to leave this up here because we're going to need to refill that when we do our testing. All right, so I'm going to try to build my very own. What are you doing? I'm building our very own shower system completely off grid. I think I have all the parts I need to get this done. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Now, obviously, the bathroom is going to be right here. Sorry, go ahead. I'm not recording you. Just go. Uh, the bathroom is going to be right here. So we're going to test it out on this side. Now, uh, that jug, which is 7 gallons, we know is purified water. There's two different things I want to do here. I want to have so the desk can have running water, but the desk, I think I'm going to save the idea for later because ultimately this water is going to be split into two. The water that is using this is going to be for both drinking and hand washing. This means that I'm washing my hands with safe, clean water, right? Now, the city can't say shit because if I have running water, this gets submitted into evidence for Wednesday. They can't say shit. I'm going to build my very own off grid water system today. You guys are going to watch me build it. I have some really cool ideas behind this. I think you guys are going to love it. So let's get started. So, first thing we need to do is look at the electrical system. So we're going to go inside and look at our electrical system to see where we want to pack this 12-volt system into. So here's what I know. Our 12-volt system is being fed directly through this line. This line right here is protected. We even added a protectant on here. It goes directly through the pod's power source because that's exactly where the pod gets its power, through the panels. We're taking the pod power and we're feeding it directly through here. Now, because this is on terminals and the terminals are right here, what I want to do is I want to take our water jug and put it right next to the line right here. So this means that we should have a water system outside right here, right? We also do have a main line. There should be a terminal block here. I haven't done that yet. We have a main line running here already as well. Keep in mind that that's where the shower system is going to go. But we also have, thank you, Ashley, for the likes. We also have that mailbox. It's already made of metal and it's already connected using our 12-volt system. If I put a switch there that can activate the pump, actuate the pump, we can then put the faucet in there as well, meaning that inlet will be used for two things instead of one. So we might be able to do it there. The only issue with that, however, is that we don't want to run wires where there's water because that could be a potential hazard. So that's why I was thinking connecting our hose right here. Now I've measured the water. I'm going to go ahead and bring that in. I'm going to go ahead and bring in the jug of water and I'm going to put it underneath the desk for now just to see where it can fit. I do have flooring, so I'm not worried about any water leaking. And this is a 12-inch desk that comes out this way, which means I can cover this at a later date and it won't impact me. So as you guys can see, I have filtered water right here. Now, I was going to reserve this portion of the desk for this setup, for this specific setup. Okay. I was going to do that. I was going to have that just for the running water and even add a sink in here and maybe a sink basin where I could have both clean water and gray water. But we're not doing that in this build. I just want to have water so I can wash my feet, wash my face outside with a pull out, uh, basically faucet spray. I don't know what you call it. So that's what I'm doing today. We're going to need the drill for this. We're going to need all of our electrical comps for this. Thank you. Thank you. Uh, Bear with me, guys. Now, if I put the water on this side, it'll be visible to the public. I don't really want to do that because somebody could, activate it by accident or just try it. And I don't want people stealing water. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it to the back. Um, so I think the best place for this pump, the best place for this setup is right there where the mailbox is, because we'll be able to integrate an interrupt, which is the switch, to allow me to turn water on and turn water off. So the pump itself has a switch, but I want to interrupt the switch not from the pump, but from the actual outside. So we're going to be rewiring it to make it work in that way, if that makes any sense. So today we are doing water. Water, water, water. It's very important for me that I get this done right. So first what we're going to do is we're going to take everything out. If we can get this done right, I can make a custom off-grid water heater and have both cold and hot water running inside of the pod. Okay. Guys, please do not call my cell while I am live streaming. That really interrupts and I do not appreciate it. Okay. So to make this whole thing happen, obviously I'm not a plumber and a lot of this stuff is very hard to do. I have what's called a lead-free compression fittings. It is basically an adapter. It's a 3/8 OD to 1 and a 4th NP fitting. This fitting right here is going to help us get our water line connected to our pump using a regular household strainer, what's it called? Sprayer. I'm using this as our basically faucet system because it allows me to pull it out and put it back in. I have not measured this. I think it's 48 inches. Let me measure this. I think it's 48 inches. It doesn't look like it's 48. This looks like it's 24. Yeah, I call bullshit. Um, but it's okay. We have plenty of pipe available to us. We're going to use this. So this is basically how it works. For those of you that don't know, it took me like over an hour to figure this out. But basically, if you're going to install a brand new one of these, you're going to unscrew the hose itself. There's going to be a washer stopper. You pull that out or push it out. And then that is how, thank you, Alyssa, for the likes. That is how you connect this. You're going to feed it through. If you have one of these and you're buying a separate kit, I had to get all of these parts myself. So we're feeding it through that line. We're putting this washer kit right through to keep that line in place. You see how that pulls? When I pull on it, it keeps that washer in place. And you're going to take your handle and you're going to screw it back in like so. Thank you for the likes, guys. And then this pressure-based lever is what will actuate the water. Now, here's the thing. The water pump that we have does not automatically stop itself, which means we're going to have to turn that off and turn that on before we can use this. Now, the problem with this is a constant on water pump, meaning that there's no actuator to turn the water pump off. It's not pressure sensitive. So I can't adjust the PCI or PSI on it to get it to turn off like a regular 12-volt RV pump. We're going to get that later, but just for the time being before court, we need to set this up so we can say, hey, we have water. And I can use that to wash my face, wash my hands, do a 5-minute rinse, right? And also refill my water bottle because that's going to be really cool to do. So we have that. Now we also have this pipe fitting. Thank you, Alyssa, for the likes. This pipe fitting is pretty standard. It's basically a grommet. The reason I got this with it is because I want to be able to put it back either on the desk or onto the wall. Keep in mind, this is not a shower system, but you could use it in that way. Now, this grommet comes with a rubber fitting on the back. If you don't have this gasket to keep the water out, you're definitely going to want to add silicone. So when you put this through the wall, through your walls, you want to make sure that the length of this is wider than your wall. So I obviously have 3/4 inch walls, and if we were to add that fitting in the back, we'll have plenty of space to tighten it from the reverse end, which is why you guys see me working on the interior without doing the exterior first. I want to be able to put stuff where I want them before adding the siding, because this is a good time to know where everything should go. If I were to add siding right now, I'd have holes everywhere. I wouldn't know where everything goes. This model is brand new. It's never been done before. So that's the reason for that. Now, I've been doing some thinking, and I was thinking that I wanted to have it right here so I could just pull it out and fill my water bottle, right? That'd be pretty cool. It wouldn't require any holes outside. It would look really cool to have it right there. So I'm thinking that that might be where, and then I can go behind the wall and tighten it, and then end of story, goodbye. But before we do that, we actually have to measure the length of the water bottle. So we want to make sure that the spigot is above it at all times. And before we actually start putting any holes in any walls, we need to make sure the pump actually pumps the water. So this is the most important part, because without this, the whole thing will not work. So the way we're going to test it is we're going to take this. This is an extractor. This is an oil pump extractor. They do make 12-volt water pumps. It does the same thing. It does the same thing. So you shouldn't really worry about it. So the only difference between this and a regular RV version is that this does not have built-in mounts. So we're going to be making a mount for this, but we're just testing it out to make sure it works. Now, we're obviously not going to use these prongs. We're going to test it out real quick before we cut everything, but we're going to cut these prongs off. We're going to hardwire it to our grid system, and then we're going to put an interrupt on it, which is basically a switch, because I don't want to be pressing this switch every time I want to turn it on and off, right? We want to be able to do this outside. So we're going to leave the switch on, and then we're going to put an interrupt switch there that basically allows me to put a switch, if that makes any sense. And then we have these. We have the inlet and outlet parts of these diaphragm pump. It's basically what it is. It's a diaphragm pump. You can get these for really affordable, very cheap on Amazon. I chose this because of a couple reasons. It fits between the wall and I can hide it. Okay, I can cover it up. I don't need to do anything. I can put a cover on it. Are you looking to buy any more lots? I got one on Lurel coming up soon. I don't think so. Not at the moment. But I mean, I'll keep you in mind if you want to DM me. We can I can look at it. I don't think so right now, to be honest, but it wouldn't hurt to look at any. So anyhow, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up this container just to make sure that I can actually put an L-shaped bracket or just a regular bracket, so I can screw this onto the wall to make sure it doesn't vibrate. We're also going to add a mouse pad, a $5 mouse pad. On the back of it, we're going to glue so that there's no vibration and we don't hear any noise. Then this is going to go inside of its own box filled with foam to keep the noise level down. So I don't think there's going to be noise, but we're going to test it out right now. So let's go ahead and go to our power grid, and we're going to check to see if this pump actually works and whether or not we can get it to pump any water at all. So I'm going to just take one of the hoses here in a second. We're going to test it out to make sure that it actually works. All right. So before we do that, we have for the water, the grid line that I for this model, I will tell you that this is a lot cleaner than it was before. If you guys saw the previous build of the pod, you're going to see how crazy the wires were. This model has very clean wires because after doing the first one, I now know what I need to do. So I'm using the side of the stud so I can manage everything. Oh, it's in the middle, so I can spread all the wires even. So we've got a positive negative line here. A positive, 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 positive. That's a little loose. There we go. Positive, positive. It's going to be a little annoying because this is not a hard one. Okay, whatever. Oh, wow. I don't get why that's loose. I never do that. All right. Again. As long as these two don't touch. Okay. And we're going to test it out. Yeah, it's definitely loud. We're going to leave that right there. We're going to take our hose line, and what I've basically done is I've added 3/4 inch pipe fitting in here and basically tied it down. Now, we're not going to tie it down just yet. We're going to cut both of these out real quick with scissors to pass that outlet. So, as you guys know, you just really need like a portion of this. And the reason for that is just so I can convert this plug into this. That's I'm gonna do about just be on the safe side. That one. These are in a box. I'll be right back, you guys. Yeah. We've got some things before we can make them. So first, we want to test out, make sure the pump is good. We're going to go ahead and do some tests here. So we know that this pump is going to sit in this angle. The water line is going to go all the way through. So assuming the water line is touching the base of our jug, we're going to assume we need another 1.5 foot worth of access from the pump to give it some space. Looks like about a foot, maybe 6 inches is really all I can afford to go in. So we're going to go about 6 inches. About, you know what? Let's do this. Let's do this the right way. We're going to go from there to there. Right here. Keep in mind, I'm not too worried because the hook will be wider to the water line anyway. We want to check the inlet. So I believe this is the direction of the flow. So I'm going to put this in here. Feeder valve. I'm going to take this off and take the grommet off. Take that off. that for now. Alright, and we're going to take our converter I bought for this. It's a 58 converter. And we're going to put that right through really tight because we all know how to do some dumb things. Then we're going to do this and put somewhere. Oh, there it is. So that 3/8 OD, the 1/4 and this is very important without we will keep connect our water pump. So we're gonna go ahead and feed this line through first. So that goes in here. I believe it goes in the learning. I don't think plumbing. So like this is not that. You want this to be out of oh, we get the right one. On the wrong side back. Yeah, it's on the wrong side back. So let's go to here. Uh-oh. Guys, I don't know what this left side was weird. All these sizes. Hold on, guys. I don't know if this. I don't know if this is gonna work. Please don't have to- I think it's through here. No, that's strange. Boy, I have an issue with this. It's not in my. I called my own 12 volt pump. I think we may have the wrong thing for this. Oh, this is what happens. So, I have a backup idea. Don't know if this is gonna work. Oh, I need to see why this is not connecting. As it really should. It was. I did earlier. I literally tested it before I came here. This side. I'm good. It's the same fitting, but it will not fit. That is crazy. It's the exact same fitting, but it will not fit. That is crazy, you guys. It is crazy. Wow. It's the exact same fitting, but it will not fit. Does that make any sense? Anybody? Oh. This side fits on the threaded version. This side does not fit on the male version. It's supposed to. The only out I'm gonna have is to come up with own. Okay, so what do we know? We know that this line connects through here. We also know that this adapter is small enough to go through. We also know that the piping, I can figure out a way to get this adapter. Wait a minute. Because I really don't understand why it's not fitting. Oh, fucking ridiculous. Get out of here. Go. This is ridiculous because that was supposed to be the connector. That's what I spent 3 hours looking for. The lady told me this was the connector. I tested it out to make sure it fit, and then now it doesn't fit. That's crazy. That is crazy. It's crazy. Um, no, guys, this is really crazy. The only thing I can think of now to do is to just use this line in reverse, like this, and then push the inlet through, but that's not going to work. So take that out. That's not going to work. Work. That's not going to work. Guys, we might be out of luck. I really, this is crazy. That was literally supposed to fit, and it doesn't fit. I kid you not. This does not fit. That's crazy. I literally tested it out at the store to make sure everything fit. What the hell, bro? Which side? That side doesn't fit on any standard. That's crazy. Not good. Not good at all, you guys. Um, yeah, that's not gonna work. That is not going to work. All right, let's try this. No. Well, Houston, we have a problem. The connector we bought does not fit the hose. Crazy. That don't want to use this. Ah, you gotta be kidding me. Oh, we know that the issue is about putting this hose on. So I can put this down and this. Not feed it in the reverse side. So, wait a minute. This fits this line. Feed through that line. Wait a minute. That's not. I will fit, but won't connect to that. I don't want to use that line because the whole purpose of this is to connect hose. It's crazy is that this fit used to. Turn to the right. The left. Okay, this fly is fucking pissing me off. Get out of here. Christ. The door is open, you dumb bitch. Sorry, guys. And it's this connector. It's this that's not working. Something. They make all these proprietary components, but you can't do the most basic of things. That's so crazy. That is so crazy. I spent an hour trying to find the fitting for this, and I found one from what I was told would work, and it doesn't work. I even tested it, and I know it worked. So now that it's not working, it's really confusing. That is crazy. Like, what the fuck? Well, this is the only thing we could do to pass the water through. This might be the only alternative that I have for this. I'm gonna have to do this a little weird. Let's see if it works. This might get water in here, but it's okay. We're gonna test it out and see if it works. Okay. I'm gonna hold the lever down and test this out. Here it goes. Nope, 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 nope. It's blocking itself. It worked. It definitely worked. Yeah, it didn't quite go where I expected it to go. Again. Well, at least we know it worked. Waterfall. There we go. All right. So yeah, at least we know it works. Um, we just won't be able to run it with that pump. We won't be able to run it with that hose. So we're going to take this off. We're going to need to put this on. And we're just going to have to do this the old fashioned way. Do a clean cut real quick. Interference. We also do have some clamps, you guys. Let's see if I can. No. Use it like. Grab my that's my screwdriver. Bro. Oh my god, are you serious? Is it that difficult? I swear I got a cheap product where this is no way. Wow, this is also having issues? You have got to be kidding me. How are we having issues with this, you guys? This is supposed to be super quick and easy to fill up. I don't like this. I don't like how far this is going. This is not good. This is not good at all. Next. Okay, this one appears like it's gonna work. Let's do this one. You fucking kidding? I'm not kidding. This is like ridiculously difficult for no reason. Like this is not supposed to be this difficult to turn. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, that hurt. This screwdriver is sharp. What do you know? My phone's dying. Of course it is. Of course my phone is dying. All right. Well, that's full. Take that out. Okay. Thankfully, I have a towel, so I'm just gonna quickly grab that. My phone is dying, you guys, so I'm gonna plug it in real quick. That's a lot of water for 2 seconds of use. That's crazy. That's a lot of water. That's a lot of water, you guys. The frick. So my phone's been dying faster and faster every day. I think it's because it's really old, you guys. I'm gonna plug this phone back in. Turning off the lights, it will charge faster. So let me get the tripod. I'm gonna try to run this again, but this time I'm gonna point it outside. Hopefully nobody thinks I'm doing something I'm not, because that would be pretty bad. Um, and we'll see how it works. I'm just gonna let this go outside and see how this works. Hopefully there's no leaks. What I'm gonna do is a PMV controller on it. A PMV controller will help slow the flow of the water down, so I can change how fast I want that motor to go. If I don't want it to go just spewing out a ton of water, okay. So I'm gonna connect this to our line again and see how we do. Sorry for the angles; it's kind of weird. Oh, why is this so loose? There we go. The next one. Let's use the tips. All right. All right, guys. It's gonna be another mess. This is trial and error, guys. First time doing this, so okay. So it's gonna See how far this goes. 3, 2, and 1. Oh yeah, we have running water. Leaking a little bit, so I'm gonna turn it off. Told you we'd make our own water pump. It's leaking a little bit down there. Um, it's not the greatest thing in the world. Uh, so we need to tighten that up and see if we can fix that. But yeah, we have water. We have running water. I'm gonna put it on a PMV controller to slow down the speed of it. It doesn't need to spew out that quick. I think this is what's causing it. I think it's supposed to go on the inside, not on that. So let me take that off. Let me disconnect this real quick. We're going to bring that water. Ooh, there's water in the pump. That is not good. There was water in the pump. That was not good. I think this is not designed for water at all. That inlet is not helping. Yep, there goes again. Hold on, guys. Let me try to get this water out. Let's try this one more time. We're still testing stuff out, so I'm just gonna cut off the valve part because I don't want to unscrew it. That was quite a pain in the ass to unscrew. I really feel like this test needs to be done outside instead of inside. Again, get in there. It's being difficult. So I'm gonna tighten out the inlet. See if I can just tighten it. Um, the screw. I always lose things in here, guys. you serious? How did I just how did I just lose my screwdriver? So freaking random. Is stupid. You guys, I don't know why this screw is not letting me where whoever made this crap needs to go back to the drawing board. What I'm doing, I know it's hard to see, so let me get the iPod. I know you guys have no clue what the hell I'm doing, so let me. I'm so tired of getting all this junk. Like, half this shit doesn't work. It's crazy. Why am I always stuck with the crappiest fucking products? Can I just ask that question? I'm always stuck with the crappiest products. I don't get that. Like, companies try to make a quick buck and they end up screwing you over with crappy products that barely work. What I'm doing is I'm tightening. It doesn't have a diaphragm. I know it doesn't have a diaphragm. There should be no water leaking. Where is that water leaking from? You got to be fucking kidding me. That's it. I'm opening the inside. I can't with this. I need to figure out why it's leaking like that. There should be no water leaking. This is an oil extractor pump. Thank you. There should be an oil. This is an oil extractor pump. I'm converting it to a water pump using our off-grid setup, but we're going to be trying to switch the gears on this because it's being it's crazy. So let's see here. Don't do this at home. I want to know why there's water coming out of this. Shouldn't be any water coming out. You guys saw how fast that water pump was, like the water was coming out. That's the pump, you guys. And it's on its own interrupt switch. Are you guys thinking what I'm thinking? I'm going to take this fucker right off. That's what I'm thinking. And just hardwire it myself with a real switch. That's what we should be doing. That's what we're going to do. Let's just fucking do it. Let me grab this. Again, don't do this at home unless you know what the hell you're doing. It's that simple. That's it. That's all this was. Okay. I was expecting something else, but all right. All right. Okay. So we are going to waterproof this all together. Um, so it's from what I can tell, it's basically just a like motor with a drill bits water pump. It's basically, but it's not waterproof. That's the issue. It's not waterproof. It's the crappiest product I've ever seen. Well, now that we have it away from this issue, let's go ahead and actually rewire this. We're going to rewire this, you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the originals off. And then, yeah, we're going to build our own. There we go. Cut that off. A little shitty, but it's okay. Looks like they soldered it on. They didn't add any electrical here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add electrical wiring around the ends so that it is a lot safer. It says it's 60 watts. Work time should not exceed 30 minutes. Do not use for drawing out water or diluent materials. Yeah, because you don't have a water gasket. We know. So that's what this is for. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're just going to rewire this. So I'm assuming those are pretty much standard. Yeah, those are pretty standard fits. Grab me my wire. We've got black. We've got red. There you go. I'm gonna go about 2 feet on this. Actually, let's go about 4 feet right there. Grab my black. I'm still confused as to why this attorney acted as a judge because they think that they were going to get some kind of confession out of me prior to actually having my case being heard by a real judge. They know that if they could force me into their own court hearing, that they would have gone back this Wednesday and told the judge things that were not on the record previously. So they know what they're doing. They think they're smart. They don't know what the hell they're doing. They don't know who I am. They don't know what I'm able to do, and they're stupid. The guy really thought he was gonna get some kind of confession or something out of me in their own courtroom. I don't really know what gave him that idea, quite frankly. Uh, it's pretty insane. But everyone's watching them now, and people know what to look out for. So we're gonna stick to that. To make sure these actually fit in here. We got some really weird soldering. Whoever did this like needs to get fired. The only way I can really clear it is with a soldering gun, but I'm not gonna waste my time on that. So I'm just gonna fit it in here the best I can. That is ridiculous. Okay. That's terrible. We're gonna do this my way. Be holes on this. Oh my god. They covered the hole on this side too. That is crazy. Y'all, this is nuts. I'm not happy with this product. They're not. They just did a shitty ass job on it. Like, just a really crappy job on this product. Okay, I just want to use the old fashioned way. I do not like doing it like this. This is really not a good way to do this. Yeah, no. That should fit if we align it. So what I'm doing now is I'm squeezing out the part that they screwed up on to get some of that soldering off so I can put one of these connectors on it. If I can get a connector on it, we can get both lines rewired. Oh, it appears to be on there pretty clean. All right. Now we're going to test it to make sure that it runs on those two. I want to make sure that they're actually positive negative lines are correct because we're going to need to put a switch and a PMV controller on this as well so we can slow down the pressure of the water. So give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to run this test real quick. Yeah. Yep, those are correct. All right. So now that we know that is correct, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go grab our ties and at least get this line in there so that it's not interfering. We're gonna heat shrink this together so that it doesn't move. So I'm gonna go grab the heat shrink kit, and then we're gonna go grab the switches and the PMV switch as well. So that should help slow it down, use a little bit less power, and not just blare out all that water. Be right back. All right, so I'm back with our heat shrink kit. This is all stuff I've saved, you guys, from just doing all the wiring and stuff. So it's a good thing I have experience in all of this, because I would be screwed trying to figure this out. So I'm going to put in one of these, keep the line together. Thank you for the likes, appreciate it. 5% charging. Okay. So now we've got both of these joined. I'm going to take the lighter and we're going to heat shrink these together so that they stay. You don't really need too much on it. All right. Let that cool down. Okay. Now, before we connect this to the before we connect this pump that I'm working on for the off-grid system, we need to figure out a location for where we're going to actuate the pump. So we need an inlet and we need an outlet for the pump's water source. We currently have the water running from inside of the pod, but to ensure that we don't get any water damage ever, what I want to do is I want to run that water outside. So because of this, I want to put the pump outside. Now we've already got a inlet from the mailbox that we're using as our power grid, an inlet for the power, not the inlet for the water. So now what I need to do is I need to find a switch that I can mount on there. We don't need a light indicator for it. Oh, you know what? That'd be kind of nice. We should technically put an indicator light. Should I put an indicator light? Yeah, not on this build. We'll save that for something else. Okay, so I need a switch where I can actuate the pump. And I need a PMV switch as well so I can turn down the pump's pressure. So we first need to be able to turn on the power. So we're gonna go with this. Since I've already got positive coming in here. I don't know which direction that's gonna be in when I mount it. That's a big help. I want a bigger switch. This one kind of already has my already done. So I did this from my last pod, you guys. I had these switches on the last build. So we're gonna put that on there. And then we're gonna put a PMV switch on there as well. That's gonna be one of these. So this will allow me to turn up the water pressure and to turn it down so that I'm not draining my water line. So we're gonna make 2 holes on the outside for this water pump. We're gonna use the mailbox as our on off, which means our water pump will be outside and not inside. So all we're doing is feeding the electrical current on a mount, and the water is going to be outside. That way, there's never any water damage in here. We won't have any issues with that. So let's do that. We're going to mount these switches up first. Once I've hardwired these, so I'm going to add about a foot of wire on both sides. Just going to gauge myself here. This is going to require 4 wires, 1 for incoming, 1 for outgoing. 2. So once power comes in from the terminal, it then goes out to the motor. Once the power comes out from the terminal, it then goes out to the PMV controller. So we need that first. I just put it right here. Okay. So this needs to have power in, positive. And what do you know? I don't have. Of course, it's not enough because it's the wrong screw. Bring it back. I go get the screwdriver set now. Yeah, this is crazy. I'm doing all this to set up a custom built off grid water pump. It's crazy. And it runs on solar power, by the way, with a custom built power switch or a pressure switch. Try building your own house. Try building your own house, guys. Okay. The city said I didn't have running water. I'm gonna make me one. No problem. Yeah. This is gonna be fun. This might take a while, guys. We got some drilling, we got some wiring, we got some mounting to do, we got some testing. It's not gonna be perfect, but it will at least work to get the job done. We got 7 gallons of purified filtered water I want to be able to fill my water bottle with. Thank you, Christian, for the likes. Appreciate it. We're going to try to match these 2 lines. My black. My black. This. We're going to set this aside, the motor. This is what's doing all the hard work. We're going to measure a line again. It's about right there. I always leave about 6 inches of space because I've learned from experience to do that on most of these custom builds. Keep in mind, you guys, that the majority of this stuff I've taught myself. No one, showed me how to do any of this. I just kind of had to play around with stuff and figure stuff out as I went along. But now that I understand it, I can pretty much build whatever the hell I want. The next thing I plan on building is a freaking solar powered car because I need to get from point A to point B. Tech, good. Negative, positive, good. Stripped out, good. So now what we're going to do, we're going to add the rest of those two. Be right there. That line. Trip. Just think, I built the house. My new friend. Hi, thank you so much for the rose. Appreciate it. Thank you. Uh, just think, I built the house that I'm powering, that I wired. It's crazy. I built the house. I wired everything up, and I'm living completely off grid, you guys. This is the American dream. The city said I don't have running water, so I'm gonna show them what running water looks like. Does your faucet allow you to change the pressure of the water? I don't think so. Yeah, well, mine does. Mine allows me to change the pressure of the water. It's gonna be pretty cool too. I'm also gonna make it voice activated. I have some extra funds to play with. I can say, "Hey, Pod, turn on the water to the garden," and then the water will just turn on in the garden. That's gonna be nice. Set the pressure to 5%. The pressure for the garden is now 5%. I already have the thermal management system talking to me, and that was pretty cool. Friends were like, "You should make me one." I'm like, "No, they're really expensive and hard to make." Yeah, so if the pod ever gets too hot, it'll talk to you. It'll tell you it's really hot in here. That was pretty cool. Using my own voice. That was funny. Who here saw that part? I demoed it. I think it's pretty cool. It was pretty nice. Saved my life once, actually. Supposedly it was 90 degrees in here, and I had no idea. I had no idea it was 90 degrees in here. And the alarm went off, and I was like, "Oh shit, it's 90 degrees." So we have all of our leads. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing on this. We're so fancy up in this. We do things the right way. Unlike other techs, we do things the right way, guys. Imagine if I was building you a pod. Thank you for the rose, Troy. Appreciate you. So, guys, what I'm doing now is I'm going to heat shrink this side and then the heat shrink on this side to keep the wires together. That just makes it a lot cleaner, more easier to deal with, and it gives it a professional look. It also helps the next person who owns the pod to see where all the wires are. It's very important. But before you do, you want to check everything positive, positive, negative. We're going to heat shrink that just to keep the wires together. You can go really close to it, it's not going to kill you. There you go. And then same thing on the other side. You want to make sure they're lined up nicely though. So go to the tail and then go to the head. We're going to go ahead and feed that through. Once you feed that through, line it up with the other one so it looks clean and perfect, like this. You can see how clean that is. That helps to keep the wires together. Again, I self-taught myself to do this because when you're dealing with a lot of wire in the future and you want to make modifications, all you have to do is just take it off and reinstall it, and you don't have any issues. Lighter just basically acts as a heat gun and heats up the heat shrink, and that's what ties down the wire. Flip it over. We're gonna do the same thing. Okay. Give it some nice air, and then now we have our wires that are ready. So the next thing we need to do is we need to replace the wiring for the switch. Obviously, that's not long enough, and it's against my electric code that I have for wiring. So we're going to take that off and redo it the right way. Most people are going to say, well, Colton, this is overkill. It works. Just connect it, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, nope, 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 nope. We want to do this right. Trust me. We want to do this the right way. So, okay, we saw the off, I think was down here, and the on, whatever. We can always switch those out. I think that was positive. Either way, it doesn't matter. It's a switch. It's still technically all switches are all positive. So it doesn't matter if you have one negative and one positive. When you have a single interrupt like this, it doesn't really matter. A switch is a switch. You just have to angle it. Good job, first gift. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you guys, Troy. Thank you. Thank you. So you want to do this the right way. Now again, you want to go 1 foot in length of your wire. So I just kind of gauge it about a foot. You could really take an overkill and measure it the same size as the other one. So you could do it that way too. So I'm going to do it like that. Take that, slice it. And you're going to grab your your crimping tool that I have. It's a basically 3-in-1. I like it because it lets me strip the wires and also crimp it. I can't talk today for some reason, guys. All right, let me see that line. Okay. So because we have screws, we're going to need a different type of connector for this. We're going to need these right here. It helps if you get a connector kit, a terminal kit like I have. I bought all 3 things. That's how everything was wired. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the TikTok 5X. Appreciate it. I use one of these to just take your pointer and hold it in place like this. And you take your connector and you just, or your crimper, and you don't go right above it. You just go in the middle and then you crimp it down in place. Now, sometimes you're going to have that problem where it points up. Take it out, redo it, get another one. You can twist these in so it's a little easier to go with. You'll want that wire a little bit exposed. Trust me on this one. And then if it happens again, go a little bit higher, and you'll have a much tighter, much cleaner fit. And you want to do a pull test, make sure it doesn't come out. And then you'll pick a side. The back flat side of this terminal is the side that attaches to it. Don't flip it over like this. because it'll just be loose and you don't want that. Put it flat. It's a lot more secure that way and easier to work with. So you'll take your screw, screw that in place. The reason I'm using colored wire here is so I can visually see where my leads are going to. That's what I call them, leads. Okay. Now, the reason I have not punctured this yet is because I'm going to be feeding this through the wall to get my current. So I don't want the wires poking up at me when I'm trying to pull it. So I'm not stripping this out as of yet. And then we're going to grab our red wire and measure it to length, the same thing. You're going to leave a little bit of overhang for that cut. So you're going to cut it right on that line so everything is nice and even. And you're going to take your number 18. This is a 14 gauge. So you're going to go with number 18, strip it, pull it right down. And you're taking your tip and you're going to roll it with your fingers against you, not towards you. You're going to take another one of your terminal lines like this. You're going to use your thumb again, your pointer, to keep it in place so it doesn't fall on you. You should see a little bit of exposure. Your crimpers and it in place. Check for quality. And when you get that like crazy bump like that, just straighten up your wires. A little bit of straightening goes a long ways. You guys, they tend to get curvy and weird sometimes, but a little bit of straightening goes a long ways. Grab the other screw. Again, you want the flat side on the base. Thank you so much for the likes. The flat side on the base. I'm going to bring this up so you guys can see it in a second. To do this, screw it in. Just remember that positive red is the positive that's going to be touching the terminal. So you want these to be really tight. You don't want them loose, okay? And what do we do to all of our positive, negative components? We put a heat shrink on it. It's part of how I build my stuff. That's how everything is together. We keep everything nice and clean that way. We don't have wires just everywhere. So we're going to add a heat shrink connector to this. Roll it down. We're going to realign it so the wires are facing together. Center it in place as high as it goes. And we're going to use our lighter to heat shrink that in place. On both sides, keep that lighter very close. Just don't burn yourself. Got about 30 seconds heating to do. Okay. And then you should be good. So that will keep your lines together and nicely formatted. Okay. Now, how are we going to mount this to the mailbox? Thank you for the likes. So in the front, you guys see very carefully, okay, there's a little screw here. You're going to take that little washer off, okay, and you're going to drill a hole through that piece of metal that this goes into and that washer goes over it. So that's how you'll get the switch to stay in a very tight space. Now, because I'm working with metal that's very thin, this should be very easy to apply. You don't need to have the on-off label like I do. It's pretty standard just to kind of use the washer. But I have heard that it does keep it in place and it makes it look somewhat nicer. Don't think it really matters, so we're not going to need that. We're going to leave that here. We're going to put this on the base, and we're going to go get our drill. We're going to put a hole through the mailbox. We're going to feed it through our wire of our terminal base, and we're going to get some power. So once we do, we just want to keep the negative line open because that's the line that will go to our PMV controller. So we're going to be mounting both the PMV controller and the switch on that mailbox because that's where we're going to actuate that power. So this knob is what's going to let us basically adjust the power of that pump, which is already pre-wired. So let's go ahead and find a place to put these two. We're going to go grab our drill and drill out some holes. Ideally, I would have grommets or something rubber to keep the water out, but this is a pretty tight like design, so I'm not really too worried about it. So, all right. I have no idea why my phone battery is dying. We're at 6% still for some reason. Okay, so I know this battery is already fully charged. I'm gonna go get the drill bit, the drill kit, and the drill. So first, what I want to do is I want to make sure I'm getting a very small drill bit to pre-drill my holes so I don't damage the mailbox. I'm going to do that. I'm going to drill these holes out while this phone is here charging, so you guys won't see it, but I will show you when it's done. Switch out the battery just to make sure we don't get a stop in the middle of our work. And then we have to slowly mount these. I'm going to go mount these real quick, guys. I'll be right back. Be right back, guys. So what I'm doing now, I know you guys can hear me. What I'm doing now is I'm checking the width of this line. Turns out that that drill bit is too big. So we're going to go a little bit smaller. Going to make sure this fits. Okay, it's too small. Let's go on to the next one. I'm doing the easy one first, which is um, the PMV switch, guys. Grab my keys to unlock the mailbox. Thank you for the chili. Appreciate you. Okay, looks like we're gonna have to make this a bit wider. Good. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna go grab my pliers, you guys. Okay. So now that we've got that done, we're gonna go ahead and assign the switch. And I already know from experience that the switch is gonna need a much bigger drill bit. So we're gonna put the other drill bit in here. I know you guys can't see, but I promise to show you this when I'm done. All right. Again. Still being difficult to try to get out. What the hell? There we go. Now this should work. All right, so now we've got that. Clean up the edges. little bit. Hold on, guys. Should do. All right, so now we've got that mounted. I'm gonna drill a hole so that I can get my wires to pass through. Okay, now we've got that in there. We're gonna feed our positive negative for the motor, positive for the motor. Then we need positive incoming from power. And this will go right back. Here. And then this will be fed to the power supply. I think I understand what we're gonna do now. All right, guys, bear with me. I'm back, everybody. So we're gonna go ahead and connect one of the wires that I'm stripping. I need my connectors. I can find the connectors. Oh, there we go. We're back, guys. Run those wires through. So what I'm basically doing is I'm saying, okay, we're going to bring power to the PMV controller using a switch, and then we're going to run that power back to the terminal, and then we're going to connect the PMV controller to the motor so that we can adjust the speed of the pump. Just like it does. Okay. Now what we're going to do in here is we're going to. Why is this so slow? Charging should have been charged by now. I think it's because I'm streaming you guys. Hold on, everybody. So we took a oil extractor and we're customizing it for use for an off-grid living. It's a 12-volt pump. Saves me a ton of money by doing it this way. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run wire. Gross. Mosquito. That is so gross. Yuck. We're going to run wire, positive and negative leads. This is the part that could be dangerous, but I know how to do this because I've done this so many times. We're going to do our positive line first, feed that through. It's a little bit challenging to get the wire, to get both wires through. So you know what? Let me do this instead. I'm going to get both black and red to feed these wires through the wall, and that's the hard part. What to do, pretty much as simple as rewiring them. So what I'm doing now is I'm just twisting these wires around so that when they're fed through this hole, I can try to pull them through. Go the opposite direction. Because no, this is the part I don't like. It's just so I'm consuming, you guys. Really hard to do. Come on, come on. We've got that. I'm gonna feed these wires through. Go under. And we're gonna leave about a 6-inch space. Thank you, thank you. This together so they're lined up. Now I can strip off the red. The black's already stripped. We're gonna go number 18. I gotta be a little bit gentle because that's mounted in the back. Let me get the connectors. It'd be nice to have running water. Thank you so much, you guys. Likes. We're gonna connect. I know you guys can't see this. Let me just try to show you the best I can. Good afternoon, just Jarv. We are connecting our own water pump for the first time. Completely off grid, 7 gallons of water. Because the city was like, he doesn't have running water. Yeah, okay. Watch this. No running water in my ass. Now we're gonna cut these out. Of course, my headphones are dying and my phone's already dying. That's crazy. I'm doing this on live while I'm trying to charge my phone and it's not even charging. Crazy. So crazy. We're gonna connect red with red, with black. We're gonna connect it to our power line, which is already being fed through the pod's power. You are innovative. Yes, I'm gonna have running water, my own running water. I'm rigging up using a oil pump extractor that I bought from Menards. I got all the parts I needed. I'm just gonna do this myself. No plumbing whatsoever needed. I'm also connecting it to a PMV controller so that I can adjust the power and the speed of the pump. To get that in there. Now we've got that. We're gonna ring this through. Ring this through. There we go. Here's what we did. We ran our wires through to the mailbox because the mailbox is going to be the control panel for the water line as well. Now we're running the wires all the way through our terminals, and that's where we're going to connect power for the pump. So I'm going to leave a little bit of space here. I'm just going to follow the leader. We're going to go. We're going to go about right there. Both of them. So we're going to come over here for both lines. We're going to do our positive one first so we don't accidentally touch anything. We still have power on, by the way, while I'm doing this, which is not advised unless you know what you're doing. A lot of this electrical stuff, you guys, takes time. And it is very, 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 like, tedious stuff. You have to know how all of it works. Otherwise, it'll drive you crazy. To know where all your wires are, you have to understand what you're doing and how it all works. Otherwise, you could do something really dangerous. Okay. We're gonna find a mounting spot. I'm gonna go with the second on both lines. So we're gonna go right here. You are so innovative. Thank you so much. Go here. And I'm building my own shower system, you guys, because I need one desperately. Be able to also fill up my own water bottle using purified clean water and be able to wash my hands. I take pictures of this whole thing, print it out, and go to court with it, and be like, "Well, look, Your Honor, running water. Huh? Wonder how that happened." All right, we've got power in. Let's go and connect our. Now for that, I'm gonna need these. I'm not mounting it as of yet. Give me a second, guys. Oh, hot in here. Seriously, it needs to start cooling down out here. This shit is crazy. Okay. This. We don't know where I'm going to mount this, but we're going to test this. Everybody. It's not going anywhere. It's been 6% this whole time, so I'm a little worried. So, all right. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna wire this, pre-wire it to make sure everything works. So I'm gonna do that real quick, guys, while my phone is charging, and then I'll show you guys the surprises. So stick with me. We're still working on this. It's gonna take some time. So stick with me. Go grab this, and we need the connectors. Just had. Seems like I'm always losing them. Always losing those connectors. But I literally just had. All right, guys, put it back. These should already be crimped. No, they're not. That's ridiculous. Let's try this one. I'm gonna run a quick test here to make sure that these are working properly. The motor is working like it's supposed to. Oh, for fuck's sake. Come on. Don't even think about it. That is so annoying. No, fuck it. I'm just gonna connect it. Fuck it. I'm gonna connect it. The wires are trying to come off on me while I'm trying to test it before connecting, so I'm just gonna connect it. And say fuck it. Usually don't do that, but we're gonna do it. So I just want to get this done. Now let's test it. Oh yeah, it works. All right, guys, I got it to work. Oh come on, what the hell is that? There we go. Tighten all these wires up so they don't go anywhere. Let's get these in here. I'm gonna make our inlet and our outlet. We should be good for now. Get where to put the hole for the. Come on, guys, this motor is being weird. I don't know if it's the wiring or what. Everything must be on in there. It's probably the phone. Oh, it's the light. That's why. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna show you what I got. I'm gonna unplug the. While I'm doing this, because I think it's being impacted. I know you can't see. Hold on, I'm gonna show you right now. My phone's at 5%, and it's taking up a lot of amps. So this is what I did. So I have a switch here and the controller there, and this is the pump. Okay, so I'm not gonna drill the holes yet, but the idea is that you turn the switch on right here, and you turn on the PMV controller. And I don't know why it's not actuating. Something is like really being stupid. Hold on. It was just working a second ago. I kind of hear it. I don't know what's going on with it. Just the switch? Yeah, it's something to do with the PMV controller. Let's try it again. There we go. All right. So I got to keep it on a specific one. I'm going to turn it up a little bit. Yeah, that's our pump. I'm going to turn up a little bit more. All right, guys, what do you think? Turn it off. Turn it on. I just got to know what are you working on? I'm working on a water pump. So I'm going to turn it up a little bit more. Yep, that's where it's at. And that's it. All right. Gotta go charge my phone back in, guys, because it's gonna die. I don't want this to die while I'm working on this. So we're gonna pre-drill the holes now for the water lines, and then we're gonna have running water, but not on the inside, on the outside. So they can't say, "Oh, he doesn't have running water." Bullshit. I told you I would make a pump. All right, so now we're gonna plug this back in because I need to be able to charge my phone. So this gets plugged in here. Our inverter, and then we have my phone charging. And perfect, we have a charge. Okay, I need to drink some water. Speaking of, it is actually really hot. Trying to find my. How am I just randomly losing shit? Oh, there it is. Where the hell's my water bottle? I'm gonna pause real quick, guys. Be right back. Guys, thank you for the likes. We're gonna go ahead and start the plumbing process. The part that I really don't like, but it is what it is. Okay, so that means I'm gonna bring the jug of water outside. So bear with me, you guys. The jug of water, very heavy. Hold on, guys. Oh my gosh, that's heavy. I'm really debating about putting this outside, but I think it makes sense to do it this way. Thank you for the likes, Grandma. Appreciate it. All right, I'm gonna grab my drill. We should have enough to do the inlet and outlet of the pump. So bear with me, guys, while I do this. It takes some time. Phone's charging, so I need a bigger drill bit. Biggest pet peeve is when I use a drill and the drill bit gets stuck. Explain that to me. Okay. Bear with me, guys. I'm still figuring this out. AirPods are dying, everybody. Like, of course they would. All right, guys, hold on. I'm still working on this. All right, guys. Who's ready to see our masterpiece? Oh boy. It froze. Literally at 3%. So, hold on. Oh, for fuck's sakes. There we go. Alright. So the idea here, that's a good sign. Okay, the idea here is that we have running water. So, for those of you that want to see, here we go. Oh, it's on the wrong side. Hold on, guys. I gotta flip it. My phone's dying. Let me plug it back in real quick. I gotta flip it. I gotta flip the pipes. Hold on. Where's the plug at? Why is my phone on 2%, y'all? That's crazy. Thank you for the rose. Be right back, guys. I gotta flip the pipes. right, guys, who wants to see it? Who wants to see my brand new water pump? Let's fucking go, guys. Here goes nothing. Guys, I'm so pumped. Check it out. No pun intended. Check it out. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Ah, we have it. It's being stupid. It's being really stupid. There we go. I don't know why it's not working. It's being really like it's the PMV controller. That's what's doing it. Oh, let's try it again. It's the PMV controller. There's something wrong with the PMV controller. But yeah, that's the pump. Yeah, we just gotta reconnect it. It's the PMV controller, guys. But we have it. It's working. It's working. I just gotta take out that PMV controller because it's blocking the electricity. So, be right back. Hold on, guys. We're just gonna take out the PMV controller. Oh, that sucks. Okay, hold on, guys. We're very close to completion. This is a test. We haven't done anything officially yet, so let's we're just gonna do a hard wire to the switch. So thank you, guys. Thank you for the likes. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go take off the just disconnect it from the PMV controller. Where are my keys at? Hold on, guys. We're almost there. Alright guys, we're back. Wow, my phone's at 3%. How the frick? That doesn't make any sense. I don't get how my phone's like slowly charging. It never does that. Alright guys, let me show you how this works before my phone dies. So we finally have running water that I made using a 12 volt pump. Ready? Check it out. We have running water. Running water, everybody. Okay, I don't want to waste this water. But yeah, there you go. It's going to be leaking in there because there's no vent. I'm going to work on that later. But yeah. My phone's at 1%. How the frick is my phone dying, you guys? This shit makes no sense. I've been plugging my phone in this whole time and it's still dying. Like, it's not using that much. Thank you guys. So yeah, I can finally rinse myself off. This is gonna be very nice. But I gotta get a better water pump because that one's leaking and it's not good. But it still works. I just need to drill some holes on the bottom to get the water to drain out. But it still works. So, alright guys. I'm gonna let my phone charge and I'll be right back. Bye everybody.